Hello Year 3, welcome to our second art lesson. I'm really excited because we are going to be making Roman shields. Now I hope you have an A4 piece of card in front of you because we are going to be starting with that first, as this is the main body of our shield. So what you are going to need to do is take the four corners and then curve them off. Now I'm going to show you how to do that with a pen. Now, you don't have to use a pen, you can do it in a pencil, but I'm just going to do it in a black pen just because it's easier for you to see it. So I'm going to do that very quickly. You don't have to do it quickly, I'm just doing it quickly so that you can see. So 1, 2, 3, 4. When you are happy with the curves, what you are going to do is you are going to cut them out. So grab your scissors and then cut up the four, not cut up, but cut off the four corners. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then I'm just going to move my mess away so that the place is nice and tidy. So this is what it should look like, and now you've got a nice curved shield for a Roman legionary to use. Once you have cut it out, I would lay it flat on the table and then get your paint ready. Now I am going to do my shield in the colour red. You might want to do the colour blue. Those would be the two main colours that the Romans used to paint and decorate their shield. So that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use red just because I like that colour a bit more. It's more brighter. So I'm going to put some paint onto my palette, and then I'll keep some water next to me as well, because sometimes what happens with acrylic paint is that when you're trying to brush it across, it starts to get really dry, so the water will help push the paint across. And I would say when you're painting it to do it across this way, and try to keep your painting in one direction, because if you go up and down it's going to look a bit messy. So I'm going to do that. Year 3, now that you have seen how I painted my shield, this is what it looks like once it's dried. As you may have noticed, whilst I was painting it got quite messy, so hopefully you are smarter than I was and then use some newspaper underneath you instead. Right, so now that I've painted the front, the main body of my shield, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some silver paper and then grab something square to do an outline over. And this is going to go in the middle of my Roman shield. So I'm just going to turn my silver paper over and then grab my black pen again and just do a square. You could use anything as long as the square just fits into the middle and it doesn't take up a lot of space. That would be perfect. So that's my square. I'm just going to quickly cut that out. Now that I have got my square, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my glue stick and I'm going to stick it onto the middle of my Roman shield. And it should look like that. Now what you are going to do, Year 3, is you are going to make the golden decoration that goes around the Roman shield. So what you need to do is you need to grab a rectangle piece of gold paper and then make sure that the length of your wing design is going to be big enough for this silver square in the middle. So what you're going to do is you're going to get the square that you use to make the template of the middle of the shield, and you are going to draw one of the sides at the bottom of your gold piece of paper. And I'll bring it closer so that you can have a look. So if I bring it really close, you can see a little faint line at the bottom there. That is how I'm going to measure the decoration. Once I've done that, I am going to fold my paper in half so that the squares are, the line for the square is half and half. And on one of the sides, I'm only going to do the decoration because the other side will then be symmetrical. So what you're going to do is you're going to draw an arch going outwards. So I'll do that first. Like that. So you should have an arch going outwards. And then you're going to draw almost like feather arches coming inwards. So 1, 2, 3. And it should look a bit like that. Once you've done that, you can cut it out. So I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm going to quickly cut that out. Okay, I haven't stuck the 2 gold wings yet, but this is what it will look like when I stuck it down. So what you need to do now is grab your glue stick and then stick your 2 wings down so that it's secure, and then we can move on to the next part of the decoration. Okay, once you've stuck down your angel wings, what we are going to do next is we are going to cut rectangles that are about 11 centimeters long. And why we need these is because we are going to turn them into triangles that look a bit like this, and then we are going to cut around this area to make the second part of our decoration. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to cut it using scissors. So 1 and 2. So once I've cut it out, it will look like that. And these are then going to go at the top and the bottom of my shield. So I'm going to put one there, and then I'm going to cut an identical one that will go down there. So I'm going to do that now, and then we are going to move on. Okay, next we are going to cut out 4 pieces of gold paper to do the arrow decoration. So the first thing I've done here is on the back of my gold paper I have drawn a triangle that looks like it's got sort of like staircases coming up it. So there's 1, 2, 3, and what you need is 4 of these. Now these 4 are then going to go in the corners of your square. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to cut out my 4 corners of arrows. Now I have cut out my 4 pieces of arrows. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And what I'm going to do now is I am going to stick these onto my shield and show you what that looks like. Okay, I've not glued mine on, but it should look like that. So 4 really cool arrows that complete the decoration of the Roman shield. Okay, now that you have finished the front of your shield, what you are going to do is you are going to take a bit of white piece of paper like this, and then you are going to cut it to shape the background. Now I've already done mine, so this is what mine looks like, so that the back is completely covered and you can't see any cardboard. Now once you've done that, you are then going to cut yourself a handle. So I just used scrap pieces of card that was left over, and then what you are going to do is you are going to bend it and then have 2 ends, 2 flaps, one there and one there, and then you are going to use sellotape to stick that down enough so that if you look down on the video, so that I can hold it like that. So what I'm going to do is I am going to stick some sellotape on the 2 ends so that I can hold up my shield and show you how it looks. Just cut a nice big strip so that I don't have to go back to it, and then take small parts and then just stick the 2 wings that I folded down. So I'll do one side first and just make sure it's very secure, so maybe put more than 1 strip, and then I'm going to bend it like that so that I can get a good grip, and I'm going to try and multitask. Now what you could do is you could get a parent or a carer or somebody at home to help you do this part. So I managed to do it all. I'm not going to show you just yet, and then I'm going to cut a few more just because I've got some extra strips and because some of it is starting to pop up. So I'm going to do that quickly. I seem to do everything quickly. And are you ready? And here we have our Roman shield, and if I show you at the back, it holds on quite securely, and this is what your finished shield should look like. Now mine is quite, I feel like it's quite detailed, but if you really wanted to be more creative, you could maybe add like a little gold circle in the middle, you could add some decoration on the side using felt tips or with like a different marker, but I like the way it looks like this. Even though it's a bit simple, it does reflect a lot of the Roman soldiers. And now you can go off, maybe put it on display, or you can go and have a Roman battle with your siblings or your classmates if you're in school and have fun with that. I hope you enjoyed this week's arts video, and I look forward to seeing everyone very soon or next week in art, and I'm very excited to see what we are going to do next. Take care, Year 3. See you soon.